analysis. We'll be starting with the XAU USD. Like I mentioned yesterday, XAU USD already tested a point and a zone, and it has changed to uptrend. So we should be mindful of the sell we take on XAU USD because now more buys are going to happen. As you can see, the buy is already happening, but there have not been any clear entry for us to take a buy yet. So we should just be patient and wait for it to give it an entry before we can confirmation before we can start buying on any zone in XAUSD. Now for GBP JPY, like we have not seen any trade since yesterday. This was the point we were expecting market to reach, and it already tested this point, but it seems it's going to cross this point. It's been making advances above it. You can see on 1 hour there have not been any change of character happening. So we just have to be patient and see what happens next. On Euro USD, if you check the daily time frame, you can see on the daily time frame. Market has been buying the whole time, going to respect this point here. So if you check the 4 hours time frame, what's happening on the 4 hours time frame? I see there's a break of structure here, and we're expecting market to come down to respect this. Then we'll find entry from 15 minutes. Let's see, the 15 minutes is already pushing down. There's no change of character to push it down on 15 minutes. Neither is there any change of character on 1 hour to push it down to respect this 4 hour zone. So we'll just keep waiting. Check the GBP USD on GBP USD daily time frame. Daily time frame, you can see market has been kind of selling, but likely to come respect this. Then the buy will start. So thank God didn't even click us from that point we were waiting for yesterday. You see, we are already waiting for a buy at this point, which is a very risky one. So let me take this out for now, please. Let me take this out for now. You can see I was waiting that buy to happen, but the trend seems to have changed. Let me take this out for now. Let's check the 1 hour time frame. What's happening on 1 hour time frame? Is there any point of selling? There is no sell happening yet, no clear structure to sell. So let's just be patient. If you check the AUD JPY daily time frame, we have not taken any trade this week, so we're just waiting to see. On AUD JPY daily time frame, it has been selling but came to this point and to make a reversal for buy. Let's see if the buy is going to happen. On 1 hour time frame, there have not been any change of character, so let's just keep waiting. If you see the NZD JPY on NZD JPY, you can see on the daily time frame, market has been selling. You want to sell to this point, then the buy will start happening. If you check the 4 hours, you can see the sell is still happening. There is no clear structure yet. Neither is there a clear structure on 1 hour as well. So let's go to the Euro GBP. On Euro GBP daily time frame, you see market sold to this point. Yeah, it sold to this point, then and it's trying to make a reversal to the top. It might likely stop at here and start selling again. So let's see on the 4 hours. Is there any zone pushing it upward? Yeah, there's a bit of structure happening here. Market have not respected. So we're just waiting for market to come back to this point. Then we look for entry on 15 minutes to keep buying. So if you can see on 15 minutes as well, there's no sell pushing it down yet. So let's just keep waiting. If you check the CAD JPY on CAD JPY daily time frame, as you can see on the daily time frame, market has been kind of it's sold to this point, respected this point, and now it's going up a bit. Let's see if the sell is likely to continue. It might sell down to here, or it keeps buying. Let's see what's happening on the 4 hours. Is there any change of character happening on the 4 hours? Yeah, the change of character that happened, the market respected it, and now it's still coming down. Let's see on the 1 hour what's happening on the 1 hour. So likely there's no entry yet on 1 hour, so let's just keep waiting and see what market is going to give, what structure is going to give next. That's going to determine that we're going to buy or we're going to sell. So let's see on the GBP CHF daily time frame, market has just been does not have a clear entry, but it seems to be on uptrend. If you check the 4 hours, you can see it's on uptrend. So let's see if there's any entry on 1 hour. There's no entry on 1 hour yet, so let's just keep waiting. Except we most likely have to break a structure here and wait for an entry here, which this week here is not going to be a good buy for us, which is going to be a risky one, 50-50 chances. So let's see the AUD USD. On AUD USD daily time frame. On the daily time frame, you can see market has been selling, trying to sell to this point here, sell to this point, then a buy will start happening. So let's see on the 4 hours time frame. 4 hours time frame, most sales are still happening. If you check the 1 hour time frame, you can see there's no clear sign to enter yet. So let's check the AUD card. On the AUD card daily time frame, you can see markets is most likely going to sell to this point, then start buying. And if you check the 4 hours, you see there's a break of structure that happened there, and this other block market has not filled it out yet. So let's see on the 1 hour what's happening on the 1 hour. There's no clear sign to buy or sell yet. So let's just keep waiting and see what the market brings later in the day. On the USD JPY, if you remember, we're waiting for a trade on the USD JPY, and this is it. So this is another break of structure that happened on 1 hour, a very clear one on 1 hour here. So if you want to take the trade for 1 hour, it's still valid to take for 1 hour. So if you check the 5 minutes, see if the entry is valid. That entry out there is valid. Let's see if that entry is valid or is not a good one. I'm sure it's a valid one because okay, this is it. You can see this is the other block here. Very, very good. So we can still take this trade for 1 hour, and it's as well valid on 15 minutes as well. So we're waiting for this later in the day. And why yeah, the TP was here previously, but I have to bring it here because of this wick that you see here. So this might be used as a liquidity when market gets to this point. It might just reverse and keep going up. Let's see. Might reverse a bit, then it continues to sell. This is going to be a liquidity, going to give us 1:6. Let's see how today goes, if it's going to respect that point today. On USD card, if you check the USD card daily time frame, you can see on the daily time frame, market has been buying the whole time. It's most likely going to buy to this point here. So let's check the 4 hours. On the 4 hours, as you can see on the 4 hours, there's more buy. There's no clear entry for us. So let's just keep waiting. On the CHF JPY, if you check the daily time frame on CHF JPY, you can see markets is just kind of ranging at this point, but it already respected this other block here, so there's a buy happening already. Let's see if that buy is active on 1 hour. There's no change of character yet on 1 hour. It's most likely going to give a break of structure here, like it wants to sell, but this I will call this a fake sell because it respected that other block already. Let's be careful. Let's watch what happens next. If it's going to give another break of structure after this change, after this break of structure, and that break of structure happens to the sell again, then we'll be looking for sells to keep pushing it down. On Euro card, if you check the Euro card daily time frame, the daily time frame market is buying, want to buy to this point. Then if you check the 4 hours, more buys are still happening. There's a break of structure, market did not respect the other block, but it kept pushing. So if you see the on the 1 hour, it's still pushing. So we just be careful because market might choose to respect that other block at the top before it starts coming to the down. That means they're going to respect this anymore. On the card CHF, in card CHF daily time frame, what's happening on the daily time frame? If you see the daily time frame, markets has been buying the whole time, but most likely going to reverse to this point then, and the buys will continue. So if you check the 4 hours time frame, the 4 hours time frame, it seems they are supposed to be sell to push it down. There's no break of structure happening there. So if you check the 1 hour, there's no clear break of structure, except one today is as a break of structure, and this as well will be another observance. So we should be careful and see when market breaks above this, and we should look out for this point to sell from this point. So I'll be watching the charts and keep you guys posted on this as well. If you check the Euro CHF, on Euro CHF, you can see the daily time frame market has been buying the whole time on daily time frame. So let's see on the 4 hours what's happening on the 4 hours. On the 4 hours time frame, market is also buying, more buys happening. You see on the 1 hour time frame, you can see there's a break of structure that happened. The market have not filled it up yet. So in case it makes a reversal, you should know it's going to fill this up and keep buying. On the AUD CHF, I'll look into that later and know how it's going to react to that point. On the AUD CHF daily time frame, you can see market has been buying the whole time. Let's look out for this. Maybe it might come to respect this other block there before it start pushing. So let's just be mindful and see what happens. On the 1 hour, you can see there's no entry as well on for now. On GBP AUD, if you check the daily time frame, market has been buying the whole time. Let's see on the 4 hours what's happening on the 4 hours. More buys are happening. On the 1 hour, it keeps pumping up without respecting any other block. Let's see on the daily time frame for GBP card, market bought to this point, so we're likely to expect a sell from this other block downward. Now let's see on the 1 hour, is it even a change of character yet? A change of character happening on the 1 hour, so let's just be patient and see what happens during the on NZD USD. NZD US, if you check the daily time frame, the daily time frame market has been selling the whole time. It's most likely going to sell to this point, then a buy will start happening. If you check the 4 hours, you can see the sell is still active. So let's just be patient and wait for the sell to get to get to that point, then we'll start looking for buys. So you can see it's not up to that point yet. We should be patient and see what happens. You check the NZD CHF, the NZD CHF on the daily time frame. You can see market has ranging at this point, but it's most likely coming to respect this other block, then start pushing up. So if you check the 4 hours to see what's happening on the 4 hours, are there sales happening? Yeah, there are sales happening on 4 hours. But let's have a confirmation on 1 hour to see if that's truly going to give us a zone to enter. There's no zone to enter yet, so let's just be waiting. On the Euro JPY, if you check the daily time frame, on the daily time frame, market is buying to this point, then a sell will start happening. So if you check the 4 hours, on the 4 hours, you can see more buys are still happening. This break of structure here, more buys are happening, but there's no entry. So just be patient and observe the market. It's good to just observe when you don't see entry. So on the daily time frame for AUD NZD market has been selling to sell to this point, then a buy will start happening. So if you check the 4 hours time frame, on the 4 hours time frame, you can see most sales are still happening, but there's no clear entry for the sell yet. So let's go to the 1 hour. There's also no clear entry for sell yet. On NZD card, if you check the daily time frame, you can see market has been it's sold to this point already. So let's see if it's making a reversal on 1 hour. Is that a break of structure happening on 1 hour? You can call this one here a break of structure, having your other block at this point here. Let's have a proper confirmation on 15 minutes and see what's happening at that point we just saw there. So you can see on this at this point here, is a break of structure happening here. Is a break of structure here. A break of structure that happened at this point. So this is it. If you check clearly, you can see on the this is the other block, and this is the FVG that we have here. That's on 15-minute time frame. This is the FVG. This is the FVG. So let's go back to the 1 hour and see what the market is doing at that point there. So let's just set our alarm at this point. Once it comes to this point, we're going to look for buys to keep pushing it up. So on the GBP NZD, if you check the daily time frame, market has been buying the whole time. It's going to buy to this point, then sales will start happening. So if you see on the 4 hours, there is no entry for a buy yet. So let's just keep waiting and see what happens during the day. If you check the Euro NZD daily time frame, you can see market has been buying the whole time. It was meant to stop at this other block and reverse, but you see it broke out, so it broke this other block, broke above it. So there was no break of structure happening at that point. So just wait for it, and now it broke above the other block, and so we should be looking out for more buys on that pair if it gives a clear break of structure later in the day or later this week. On the Euro AUD, you can see it keep pushing up, more buys happening, more buys happening. On the 4 hours time frame, there's more buys still happening, but there's no clear entry for now. More buys happening on 1 hour as well. So if it's most likely going to reverse to the zone on the 4 hours, which means you should look closely for entry on 15 minutes if it's going to push to that point. But there's no entry on 15 minutes as well. If you take the USD CHF on the daily time frame, you can see buys has been happening. It's most likely going to stop here and start selling, which market has not gotten to that point. So you can see on the 4 hours it's still pushing up. On the 1 hour is still pushing up, no change of character happening yet. So let's just be patient and watch. Okay, that will be all for today. So I'll see you guys on the next one tomorrow. Do have a blessed week ahead and more TP, less SL. Bye for now.